Hey fellas, your commissioner here, coming at you for what are we on now? Week seven, week seven of NFL action. Pretty much, for all intents and purposes, halfway through the season since we went down to a 13-week regular season. So it's time, fellas. If you haven't been winning, it's time to get on the ship. Unlike Arkansas, of course they had to play their games down here in the LR, and it was just a miserable, rainy game. Um, it was cold, rained all day, and what do you know? We ended up losing, lost the lead with like a minute left. We certainly have done that to Ole Miss the last 3 years or so, so we were probably due to have that happen to us, but it's just frustrating as all heck, whenever you're just so close to finally getting your second win of the season. Maybe the only conference win you're going to get all year, and you just blow it. So, you know, I would probably be in a worse mood if I lost last week, but I didn't. So, Happy Laz is still here, still having a good time, so much optimism, and there's just so much hope. So, um, looks like we are probably going to get Kelly Bryant. He was touting Chad Morris as just like whenever he got recruited out of high school. So that's pretty nice. Love to see what he'll do. But, let's go ahead and get into a recap of last week's matchups. We'll start off with, let me pull it up here. Just a second. Oh my God. Oh, there's two teams, man, that just are not good. Oh, jeez. Who was our game of the week last week? Real quick, somebody tell me. Don't tell me. Was it the Scrubber ones? The Scrubber refills? I think it was. Our Scott Bright Dish Wand refills game of the week kind of lived up to the hype, not really. Nick puts up 131 to Hawks 103 and knocks him. I think his second loss of the season, not consecutive, because Hawk lost his first game, I believe, went on a 4-game win streak. Um, shouldn't have won last week in the game of the week, but he did. So, I don't know what to say about Nick's team, really. I'm at a loss for words. I just don't get it. I don't understand how he's putting up these points. I really don't. If you look at his players, uh, he's got a mediocre team, folks. I mean, I don't know what kind of black magic shit that this guy has gotten into. Mr. Life Alert. Oh, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. All right, now listen. Listen. If he's got a concussion, obviously concussions are no joking matter. It's very serious. It's not funny. Okay, it's not funny. But I mean, come on, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand how you fall in the first place, brother. I mean, something had to happen with you. I don't know. You don't look sickly, Nick, but you just have all this random stuff seems to happen to you. Mono, and your knee's always hurt and your wrist is always hurt. And there was that whole thing that happened whenever you used to drink. That probably wasn't very healthy. Um, and now this, you're just passing out after a routine blood work. Kylie, I'd be worried about Nick if I were you. Hopefully you can fix him. We certainly want him around. As much as I hate his fantasy team, I love Nick the person, and I hope he sticks around. So let's make sure you're taking care of yourself, Nick. So that being said, he is in some black magic shit. I don't know how he's making his team do as good as they are. I don't get it. Whatever. He's probably going to win the league again this year. So he's 5-1. Hawks 4-2. Very, very close game. Again, Blaine coming back 158.8 to 158.1. Hate to see that for JD. Honestly, I would like to see JD win to put an extra loss on to Blaine. But Blaine got enough out of George Kittle, just enough. Looked like it wasn't going to happen. But luckily, Rodgers is pretty freaking good. Came back and tied the game up, so 49ers had to throw. And sure enough, he got one catch. That's all he needed. Blaine moves to 4-2, and JD falls down at 2-4. Then we got Badonka Gronk and Kickers Lives Matter. No surprise here. Duncan put up 120. It's about his ceiling. So that's about the best he's going to do on any given week. Without Thielen, I honestly don't know where his team would be. I tell you this, it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good, fellas. His team is just about the definition of mediocrity, if you ask me. Granted, did I lose to that mediocrity? I sure as shit did, but, I guess I just felt bad, probably, is why I lost to him. So, Craig's on a hot streak now. He's got 2 wins in a row. He puts up 134. His team's looking very solid. But he's still got a lot of work to do to get back in the playoff hunt. Not really that much work to do. He's only a couple games out of a playoff spot. But then we had the absolute beatdown that I predicted. Rip drops 190. James Conner, he's hit back-to-back weeks with his defenses. 28 out of Green Bay the week before, 27 from Baltimore this week. So, or was it? It was maybe several weeks ago. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. Rip's been able to hit big on the defenses. Adams is just, I don't get it. I don't think Adams is a very good player. I think if he didn't have Rodgers, he wouldn't be anything. But similar to like Jordy, Wilson's just not very good either. To be quite frank, he only puts up 110. I don't think that Rip's team is as good as his last 2 weeks have shown. 190 and 180, whatever. But he's been dropping down the last couple weeks, so we'll see. With James Conner, with Lev coming back, Lev is going to come back. Hashtag not worried. That's going to take a hit to him, but Sony's balling out. He's still got David Johnson. Jordan Howard, I don't think is going to turn it around. I think he's just done for the year, but we'll see. That brings us to our second to last matchup. The other 99% squeak out a win. Now, the score wasn't close. Savoy puts up 116. The Plunk's only 84. 116 is fine, to get a win. It's fine. He got kind of lucky playing Plunk. He would have lost the vast majority of the other teams this week. But that's not my issue. My issue is not with Savoy is now 3-3. My issue is now with the 4-2 Connor Plunk, having lost back-to-back games in frankly embarrassing fashion. The last 2 teams he's played the past 2 weeks have not put up point totals to beat. Hell, I'll go back 3 weeks. Now, 3 weeks ago, he put up the point totals to win. But the difference being is that he really hasn't had that many points against, folks. As I mentioned on my last video about the point differential, let's see maybe if it's back into check. I bet you it isn't, but let's go ahead and look real quick. Let's see. Where is he? 651. 651 points against. Now, his points for is going from middle of the pack to bottom of the barrel real quick, and his points against is staying at the bottom. Now, he has 651 points against. Last week, I think it was It's about 700. It was about a 70-point differential between the next lowest team. Now that has ballooned all the way. Well, I guess it's not that much. It's ballooned up to 80. So really not that bad. Sorry. But that's not the point, Connor. The points against is not the point anymore. The fact of the matter is that you started off 4-0. Looked like one of the better teams. Now, you got a little lucky, I think, to start 4-0, but you did. And let's just go ahead and deconstruct your roster here on a player-by-player basis. So there's a direct correlation with Plunk's points scored in the last 2 weeks. That being Alvin Kamara. So here's my hypothesis, my theory, if you will. Plunk's team was only 4-0 because of one player, and that's Alvin Kamara. Now, Plunk got Alvin Kamara through like second cousin twice removed sort of deal. You know, he got him from Duncan, who got him from me, and then exploited that to keep him. So Plunk didn't really do much to be able to get this. Sorry about that. The focus went away for a second. So last week Kamara's on bye. The week before Kamara was on. Mark Ingram came back. I'm sorry. And buddy, I tell you what. You look at his players, and he's got good names. He's got good players. But if Alvin Kamara doesn't perform, it just falls apart. Alvin Kamara is a catalyst. Hopefully for him, he can turn it around. I'm not going to be as harsh as I thought I was going to be whenever I first pulled up his team, because he does have some good players. Do I think he still has a shot at winning the whole thing? I do, obviously. But Plunk, man, you got to figure it out, son. I yelled at you last week. Obviously, the anger didn't get through to you, so now, you know what? I'm not upset, Connor. I'm not. You know what I am? I'm disappointed. All right? I'm disappointed because I know you can do better. All right? I expect better, and I hope you will be better. Don't be a detriment. Don't be a Ford in this league, which brings me, terrific segue by me, to Josh Ford. Ooh, buddy, you know, I didn't think it could get much worse. I didn't think a team could be much worse. Now, he's only 2-4, tied for the worst record in the league by only about a game, only a game. But this guy comes out and drops 64 points. Now, granted, I put up 152, terrific week for me. It's not about me. You know, we all know that what my team is capable of, and we're back on track and only going to get better with Lev coming back. But truck nuts, Josh Ford might be worse than the Nebraska football team who doesn't have a win halfway through the season. You just look at his roster and there's just no talent there. There's just no talent there. First of all, he makes the absolute incorrect decision. Now, it wouldn't have mattered, but why you would not start Matt Ryan at home against one of the worst defenses in the league versus Phillip Rivers having to travel to essentially the East Coast in Cleveland for an early game. Why would you do that, Josh? You dumb idiot. He's got Ryan Grant, who is absolutely a bum. Antonio Gates is his starting tight end. Antonio Gates is the only tight end he has on his roster. Oh. I don't know how much or if he even tried to pick up O.J. Howard today, but if he didn't, I shouldn't be surprised because Ford is just one of the worst owners I've ever seen play this game. One of the worst I've ever seen. I can't even get. He's got Sammy Watkins. Cooper Kupp is now hurt. Leonard Fournette, who knows when he's coming back. Tavon Austin up for Blue J&J. Why are you holding on to J&J? The keeper deadline's over. Oh my gosh, Josh, you dumb idiot. You dumb idiot. Whatever, I got back on track. I'm 3-3, snapped my 3-game losing streak. Let's quickly, there really weren't any big acquisitions this week. Obviously, Ito Smith was probably the biggest with Freeman going to the IR. Picked him up for $9. Mitchell Trubisky got picked up for 11. Questionable there. OJ got picked up for 15 by Hawk. Kind of pissed me off. I thought I was going to get him. So congrats, Hawk. You made me mad. I know that's what all you guys in the league want to do anyway. Added Taylor Gabriel, whatever, irrelevant. Peyton Barber's probably irrelevant. Christian Kirk, I like that pickup from Plunk. Looks like he might be turning things around. A bunch of defensive players. Who cares? Real quick, before I get into a preview of this week's games, got a little pop quiz for you. A little pop quiz. This is to see who's actually watching the videos and who's not, and who's on top of the ball. So, the first owner who can text me the answer to this question will receive 5 fab bucks. 5 fab bucks. The question is, who were the original members of the inaugural season of what is now known as the Morris Men's Fantasy Football League? One more time. Who were the original members? Give me all of them, and you can look this up by going to the league history of what is now known as the Morris Men's Fantasy Football League. For 5 fab bucks, first owner who can text me that wins 5 fab. So let's go ahead and get into a preview of this week's games. Run through this fairly quickly. We got the Phallic Phenoms and Campbell for the Storm, projected to be 131 to 121. Neither one of these guys really have anybody on bye other than Hawk. Obviously, it's Jimmy Graham, but he picked up OJ Howard, who's a better tight end anyway. So, 2 squads, pretty much full strength going at it. Let's see. Yeah, I think Hawk wins this one, gets back on track after a couple down weeks, and just pistol whips Wilson's behind and sends him to 2-5. So sorry, Wilson. Oh my God, Josh. Oh, his team is so bad. We got Rip matching up against Ford, 115 to 93. Rip doesn't even have a defense in yet. Ford has Cooper Kupp in, who is probably going to miss the next few games, so he'll slide in Marvin Jones back to his lineup, who has been less than spectacular. I don't think Ford's going to break 100 points again this week, which sucks because I really need Rip to lose. Rip could not have gotten himself a better opponent on the Packers bye week than Ford. I don't know how he lucked into it, but he doesn't have Rodgers or Devontae Adams as number 1 quarterback, number 1 tight end this week, or wide receiver, excuse me. And yet he gets the luck of being able to play Ford, and so he's just going to cakewalk to 4-3, which sucks. But then we got Dirty Birds and Craig squaring off. Craig doesn't have a defensive player or a defense, and yet he also does not have either one of those positions on his roster currently, so bold strategy. Plunk's only missing Juju this week. I don't know. I don't think I think it might be close, but I think Plunk does get back on track. Like I said, he does have the guys. He does have the talent. He just needs to be a better coach. Rights his ship, snaps his 2-game losing streak, and moves Craig to 2-5 as well. A couple of 2-4 teams matching up, 137 to 100. JD is favored over Duncan. Duncan has Russell Wilson on bye. Does not have a backup quarterback currently. Also has Baldwin on bye. Duncan's team, like I said, is just not very good. He'll probably find a way to squeak out 110 this week. But yeah, I think JD comes out and just absolutely takes away all hope from Duncan. JD does have a very good squad. His record doesn't really indicate it. He's had some bad breaks, some bad luck. I think JD comes out, and not really a statement win because Duncan's not a statement team, but I do think JD comes out and wins this week. Brings us to Creamy Dreamies and the other 99%. Projected to be a very, very close game. Honestly, if I hadn't picked Nick to be the game of the week pretty much every week except 1 week, I believe, this should be the game of the week. Projected to be 132 to 131. Neither one of these guys really have anybody on bye. Neither one of them really have anybody on bye. Should be a shootout. It looks like it's got all the makings to be a shootout. That being said, obviously, I'm not going to pick Nick. I wish him nothing but the worst of luck in fantasy. It's just the cost of doing business. So I like Savoy here to move to 4-3, even though it would probably benefit me more if Savoy loses this game. Knowing Savoy's luck, that's certainly a possibility. But I'll go with Savoy to win this one. So you guys are going to make fun of me for making this game of the week. Honestly, okay. I can't retroactively do this. I can't retroactively go back and say that Nick should be the game of the week, and I shouldn't look at how many teams have been game of the week or whatever, owners, whatever. But I know I don't want people bitching at me and complaining, saying, "Oh, Nick's the game of the week every week." You know, so and pretty clean, I'm just tired of giving them the game of the week. I don't like it. So, anyways, that brings us to our, I think, a repeat sponsor, but it's a good one. Our Burt's Bees Beeswax Lip Balm. Can you read that, folks? Burt's Bees Lip Chapstick is what I call it. Even though the brand is chapstick, you know, I still Burt's Bees is 1,000 times better than chapstick. I promise you that. You know, everybody, well, you know, I wouldn't say everybody. It seems like it's 50-50. Either you've never used chapstick in your life when you're just an insane person, or you're a normal person like most of us, and you know your lips get chapped. It gets hot. The air gets dry. It's windy. It's cold. It doesn't matter. Chapped lips can happen anywhere, and they're absolutely no fun, folks. No one wants to deal with chapped lips, whether you're kissing or trying to talk. They're a nuisance. So, you know, I don't recommend anything other than Burt's Bees, Beeswax Lip Balm. It's got vitamin E and peppermint in it, folks. Peppermint. Now, this is just the original version, too. I didn't know the original had peppermint, but, you know, you learn something new every day. So, Burt's Bees Lip Balm, the official lip balm of the Morris Men's Fantasy Football League. Yum. Feels better already. So that's obviously the Scamps and the Swamp Donkeys. Now you look at the records. One's 3-3, one's 4-2. Damn it. I don't like the Dodgers. Dodgers don't win right now, so that's sick. Blaine doesn't have a wide receiver or a flex in currently. He's back to playing games, I guess. Obviously, I expect him to slot in Ty, and for the sake of this argument, I'm slot in Ty and probably Mark Ingram. Now, you know, this is always a double-edged sword whenever I'm playing the game of the week because I give analysis and that might affect some owners because I think players aren't going to do very good. But I need to wrap this up very quick. So Baker versus Cam Newton as it stands right now. I like Tampa. I like the matchup against Tampa Bay's defense. I think Bake Show's going to come out and ball out, drop 30. Battle of the running backs, don't even need to talk about it. His running backs are going to beat mine's ass. My running backs are the worst in the league as of right now. Battle of the receivers, doesn't matter who he's got. Michael Thomas does have a very tough matchup. Honestly, wouldn't surprise me if Michael Thomas only has like 5 points, but you got to start him. So I still like Tyreek, though, and I think he beats whatever 2 receivers he trots out there in Boyd and whomever else. So battle of the tight ends, we got George Kittle versus Kyle Rudolph. I'm going to go with Kittle. He's been the better player. Battle of the flex right now, it's Allen Robinson against New England. Excuse me, I'm going to go with A-Rob there. He's starting to come into form. So, you know, it's projected to be 118 to 98 right now. Once Blaine gets his 2 guys in there, it's probably going to be projected about that, probably 120 to 118. Maybe in favor of Blaine, but obviously I need a win. I got to keep this momentum rolling. Cannot fall to 3-4. You know, if I can get to 4-3 without my number 1 pick for the first 7 weeks, I'll consider that a win. So let's see. I might be coming up to NWA again this weekend. Very good possibility. It's homecoming, obviously. Hogs are playing Tulsa. We're only like a slight favorite. Whatever, we're gonna beat Tulsa's ass. Tulsa's not good. Like, we're gonna beat them by 3 touchdowns. So whether Ty plays or not, you can hold me to that. So that being said, I'll probably be up there this weekend. Hopefully, if I am, I'll see some of y'all. We got a London game this week. You know, tip of the hat, governor. Don't forget to eat your fish and chips. It's not really a good accent. You know, I'm better with Australian because it's a Southern thing. Like that's basically what Australian accent is. It's like a Southern English accent. So anyways, good luck this week. Don't forget about that Sunday game, bright and early, 8:30. Get those players in. It's the Chargers and the Titans. Shouldn't really be playing anybody from the Titans, but for the Chargers anyway. So y'all be safe this week and good luck.